Definitely not what I wanted, but got here a little. Could have been what it could have been versus what it is. Two different things. Let a couple more people pull in here before I get into the room. Before I get started on my ranting. Stop giving these greetings away to absolutely nobody. Well, no, that's not the case. All right, y'all. What's going on, world's man, Mr. Max, Meg Rashawn? Time is 5:02 p.m. If you know, you know how we do it around here. Welcome to the garage, home of the worldwide mechanics. Your lead mechanic, Mr. Mac. Around here, all we do is talk hip hop. So do me a favor, come on in, get them coveralls, get your tool belt. Let's get this car on the rack, see where it's at. Hit the subs, hit the likes, hit the subs. That's how you show your boy love. Hit the likes, hit the shares. Let people know how we do it around here. And one love to all the mechanics already pulling into the room. I see the tools in the comments. I love it. I love it. Y'all are the best part of the day. One of the best parts of the day. Rehearsal was super great today too. So, Calvin, what up? Shout out to the UK. Shout out to all the mechanics representing from all corners of the world. But one time for Calvin, one of the original mechanics checking in from the UK. I actually moved this show up a little earlier just so he would have an opportunity to come on in and holler at us. Okay, so as you guys know, and Calvin, it's a good thing you're here because one of the questions that I asked was, should I check for the new Kanye West album? And Calvin, if you don't know, head on down into the comments section. The video before this one, the live before this, Calvin gave one of the best answers that has resonated with so many people in the comments. So many people in the chat have quoted Calvin directly, just for how real he kept it when it came to should I listen to Kanye West album. And he didn't critique the music at all, but he had a very real stance that I definitely can appreciate and makes all the sense in the world. So shout out to Calvin. Just before I even go any further, one time for the boy Calvin, original mechanic, one of the original mechanics. But I did go ahead and throw it up just to see, what we were talking about. I wanted to see, and I got a few more reactions here. So it's just a quick little number. I just want to read these off. First thing I see is Calvin. Apologize, had to work late. Calvin, you never have to apologize. When you pull up, you pull up. When you don't, we get it. But you still here. You're here even when you're not here. You one of us, King. So chill out. You one of us. Word of Light Media, World of Light Media said, listen to it with the visuals. It doesn't suck. It doesn't suck. Not exactly sure how to take that. Shout out to B74, another original mechanic. Hit the likes, hit the subs. That's how you show your boy love. Hit the likes, hit the shares. Let people know how we do it around here. That's B74. She runs the room. One time for B74. Listen to it with the visuals. It doesn't suck. That was World of Light Media. And that comment was edited. What he meant to put that. Quentin Moore, shout out to Quentin Moore. I see you in here. I had two black grandmas. Kentucky Fried Chicken was never an option. Quentin Moore 9390 heard you. Heard that. Me too. And me too. If you know, you know. That's a callback to a different video, but we all know what he's talking about. Donda 7569. Oh, he's not biased at all. He's not he can't be biased at all. And he said, check the Kanye album. It's a classic. You have already, and this is not me being biased, but calling something a classic when it's only been out like less than a month, you haven't even listened to it. It hasn't been out long enough for you to determine whether it's a classic or not. Yeah, that's just capped. I mean, besides the fact that your name is Donda 7569. Listen, okay. Here's the thing. We are all entitled to our favorites, right? I don't expect anybody in here to curb their specific taste any more than you guys would expect me to curb mine. But when I do things like this, about to sneeze, trying to stop it. When I do things like this, spring is now officially sprung. Allergies have come to kick my ass, and just like that, just like that. That took no time whatsoever. Just like that. Lord Jesus, sneezing my whole face off. And yeah, okay. Allergy season has arrived. Welcome to spring. Thank you, B74. Thank you. The only thing I ask, the only thing I ask is that we keep it objective around here, right? Just be objective and recognize the difference between it's dope. It's a recognize the difference between individual taste and universal taste. Individually, you can feel however you want, but universally, we need to keep objectivity. And it just feels like objectivity is out the window when you're calling something a classic that's barely been out 2 weeks. That's all I'm saying. And carry the torch 38 3885 right underneath writes shaking my head. Yeah, see, stuff like that. Stuff like that. Yeah, stuff like that. Let's see. Jig Holly Grove 5589 said, no need for round two. Like Calvin said, and he quotes the mechanic, Calvin Campbell, who's in the chat as we speak. Shout out to Calvin. He's quoting you directly. He says, no need for round two. Like Calvin said, in quotes, at some point we have to stand for something. End quote. How many times do we keep allowing the clown to disrespect black people as a whole? The music ain't worth it. We have other artists we could spend that time and energy supporting. Remember, slavery was a choice and all lives matter. Featuring Candace Owens. That's the only music I needed to hear from him to let me know that I'm done with Kanye. Jig Holly Grove. Oh, hold up. Y'all know how it goes. Everything stops for a super chat. It can't be classic. We don't even know if it's majority AI or not. Stop it. Wow. 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 Oh my. I'm going to keep it so tall with you. I never even considered that this might be AI. I never considered that. I promise you I never did. Wow. Wow. That is a hell of a super. That's a hell of a way to start the super chat off. That's crazy. That was crazy. First super chat of the joint, and that's how you feel? Wow. I don't want to believe that it was super chat. I mean, excuse me. I don't want to believe that it was AI. But we are talking about somebody who had a ghostwriter before, who uses ghostwriters. If you can use a ghostwriter, if you're comfortable having your rhymes written for you, what what would how would AI hurt at all? Honestly, real spill, real spill. If you can do that, my opinion, it's basically the same thing. Jovias, Jovis. First of all, King, thank you for the super chat. That's off the rip, number one. Thank you for the super chat. And second of all, that was a hell of a. That's a hell of a. It can't be a classic. We don't even know if it's majority AI or not. Shaking my head. Stop it, Javius. That was okay. Yeah, you did that. You got that. You got that. I'm quiet. I'm quiet. That was awesome. Okay, back to the comments. That was a great one. And again, Calvin, you in here being quoted. See, people see the magic. DJ All Day, another high level mechanic, been here for a minute. He says, overall opinion of Beast, coming to America, Jack Harlow slash White Men Can't Jump reboot. GPS did not tell me that we were going in this direction when I started this thing. Yo, all day, yo, really, bro? Wow, wow. Coming to America, White Men Can't Jump reboot. Wow. Yo, y'all are on fire out here right now. The AI line from Javius was hilarious, but I didn't laugh because there's too much of a possibility that it might be true, and I didn't even think of that. What you saw was me in real time having just wow. What if he actually? Oh man, and now this like y'all are killing me. Charlie 2099 says now homeboy is deleting comments corny. Okay, I'm not anti this, but I need y'all to be specific. I have no idea who you're talking about. I know because we covered La Russell, we covered Kanye, we've covered Jack Harlow. I need to know who's deleting comments. Like who Charlie 2099. Who hurt you, bro? Like be specific. Put a name to it so we can figure out who you're talking about. Because I have no idea who you mean. And this could pretend if Kanye is deleting comments, I want to know. LaRussell, we know, shut down his whole IG, so he's beyond deleting comments. He's deleting pages. But if you're telling me that Jack Harlow or Kanye is deleting comments, I need to know that. Quentin Moore, another original mechanic, says, leave that Kanye ish where it is. New Black Milk coming soon. If you don't know, Black Milk is a serious, like, his first two albums felt like I discovered a gold mine when I came across those joints. Black Milk is the truth. Producer from the Dilla School, out of Detroit, and he's uh, makes amazing music. So shout out to Black Milk. Weird name, amazing music. Yeah, man. Yeah, this is looking too wild. It's looking too wild. I don't think Kanye may one day get a listen. Somebody may press play while I'm in the car, and it's not my car, so whatever. One of these days I'll listen to it. But Calvin's right. Calvin's got a serious point. All of you do. All of you do. As long as we being objective, I got no problem with it. I do want to kind of cover this. I do want to speak on this B-74, yeah. Yeah. LaRussell shut his LaRussell shut his stuff down. Super crazy. LaRussell shut his stuff down. Who's telling me to turn my mic on? Can y'all hear me? Tools up if you can hear me. Otherwise, I got some maintenance to do because I don't know who's saying turn the mic on. Tools up if you can hear me, or thumbs up, or whatever, or hit the like if you can hear me. Oh, it is. I'm seeing hearts. Okay, so you can hear me. Okay, cool. Okay, so oh boy, yeah, it's not going to be. It's looking like a no. I wasn't in a rush to hear Kanye's album, mostly because of what Calvin so very so very articulately explained in his comment. Very articulately commented for the rest of us mechanics. At some point, I was already on the fence because you don't want to. You just I too never forgot all lives matter and slavery was a choice. I haven't let that go either. So, I'm kind of cool on that. Can we talk about your man J. Cole though? In this whole culture doesn't mean anything anymore. Did y'all check that? Cause I dig Cole, but he is constantly finding new and different ways to. I think what Cole was explaining, and this is just me trying. I can't ask the man the question. I can't ask him to clarify. But he was on a podcast. I'm trying to remember the name of it. Lost in Vegas. He was on the Lost in Vegas pod. They do reactions, and he went up there and he started talking about culture doesn't mean anything. It's just a buzzword now. Culture basically means algorithm. But his examples of why he feels that way were all based around local neighborhood culture, and how fast it spreads throughout the internet. His examples were, somebody will come up with a word or like slang that they used to use, and then next thing you know, before it even gets hot, some, white woman in Idaho is saying the line. While I understand that, it kind of speaks to me as a perspective of a man who has been in a bubble for a while. And I'm not hating on him for that because I feel like when you're creating at a J. Cole level and the criticism is what it is, you tend to shy away from the internet. He's on the Kendrick. We don't see him a lot. Cole, this run is making so many waves because he barely does it. But him saying like, it's a buzz, culture's a buzzword, it doesn't mean anything. And then your example is how fast local culture can be disseminated throughout the internet. It just speaks to me of a man who's been in a bubble for a while and doesn't understand, doesn't have a full grasp of how tuned in kids are when it comes to the internet, how locked in they are. It doesn't take them long to discover the slang. And of course, once they discover it, they're going to repeat it. The internet has made the world local. When it hits, it hits. Now, do algorithms and online marketing have an advantage when it comes to attaching itself to culture and monetizing culture and making spreading culture? Absolutely. Absolutely, but the culture still comes from the people. Hip hop still comes from the people, and you know, and there are cases to be made across the board between AI raps And of course, people who are monetizing and doing everything they can to keep their hands on or in the culture, and not for positive reasons, for nefarious reasons, for they don't have the best intent. I get where he's coming from, but culture is not a buzzword, bro. Culture is not a buzzword. As always, as usual, when the wrong people get a hold of the right thing, they can make you think that it's the wrong thing, especially when they're abusing it. But those people have always been around. What you're witnessing now is the power of social media and how tapped in and how tuned in these younger generations are on social media. Things are going to spread way faster. They see it, they move on it. And that a lot of them aren't creative, so now they get to take credit for something that someone did in a city, hundreds and hundreds of miles away. They get to take credit for it. But, as savvy as everybody is in tune as people are on the internet, they're just the first person to say it around their way. But none of that negates culture. None of that negates the people who are creating this thing moving forward. I understand that if you've been in a bubble and you've stepped away from the internet and the comment section and all that stuff for a good chunk of time, resurfacing and coming back up, you won't. It'll feel like, oh God, what's culture? And of course, you got a lot of people with a lot of different opinions. The short bus kids are looped in with the regular students, with the B plus students, and they're looped in with the advanced students. We're all in the same classroom. So it can feel as if, all culture is just being pushed. I see a bunch of laughing emojis. All culture is just being pushed through algorithms and internet. I get where he's coming from. Don't get me wrong. I get where he's coming from. Algorithm takes advantage of culture. The internet takes advantage of culture. But there are so many different kinds of cultures that exist on the internet. It just shows me which one you're in tuned in, and you're seeing a bit of a, it feels diluted. It feels watered down because everybody and anybody has access to it, but they don't have the sauce. You dig? J. Cole should pull up in one of these sessions, and he should check the mechanics. He should holler at the mechanics. Like, the sauce is in here. That stuff. The stuff. It's not the watered down. It's not the repeated. The problem is the sauce gets repeated so much that by the time you catch on to it, it feels watered down. But the source still has to come from the source. That's the culture. Right? That's the culture. Lean on the pillars. That's the culture. Culture is not a buzzword. Any word becomes a buzzword when the wrong people are using it as such, but it doesn't. Just because the impact isn't felt the way it used to be doesn't mean that the thing itself loses all meaning. That's not it. It doesn't hit as hard as it did when you were, using the term, because now you see a whole bunch of Johnny come latelys and unqualified opinions using the phrase. I get it. Good Lord. Allergies are gonna. Here we go. Spring has definitely sprung. But I wish we would stop making, especially our artists, people who are in the spotlight, making these big declarations, these declarative statements, these just broad stroke statements that they expect to apply to everyone across the board. I wish we would stop doing that, instead of, again, like we said in the beginning of this session, recognizing the difference between individual and for the public, individual and general. How you feel individually is a very personal thing, but to say that everybody feels that way, or this thing now applies across the board. You got to be careful when you're doing that. It's not that it's not always, sometimes it's true, but you got to be careful. Culture is a buzzword. Okay, but culture still very much exists. It's used as a buzzword, and a lot of people pick up on it because it's where you want to be. It's where the source is. So of course, a lot of people are looking for the source of the source. I get that. So culture would be a buzzword, but it doesn't mean that culture doesn't mean anything, or it lost all meaning. Maybe the word itself loses a bit of impact because of the people that are using it and the reasons they're using it. But culture is still culture. Like for instance, breakdancing was still breakdancing even when it was in a Coca-Cola commercial. Even when they used it to sell, whatever. It breaking is still breaking. Graffiti hanging up in multi-million dollar art galleries, it's still graffiti. It's still graffiti. MCing hitting mainstream, the Roots winning a Grammy, they're still the Roots though. Black Thought is still Black Thought. You get where I'm coming from? That's all I'm saying. D, DJ D Nice during the pandemic, DJing for the entire planet. He's still a DJ. That's still DJing though. You get it? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Culture is still culture, no matter where it goes or who uses it. It just helps us kind of identify some of the corny people who put their hands in our source. But we see them. We spot them from a mile away. That's all I gotta say. All right, so check it out. My allergies are officially beginning to kick my ass. So with that said, I'd like to welcome you all to spring. It has officially sprung. Calvin, shout out to you. You were definitely the all star of these last couple of joints. Again, head on down to the comment section if you haven't seen that J. Cole interview. Go and take a look at it. If you got clarity on what he said, but let's or not, whatever it is, let's just have the conversation in the comment section like we always do. In the meantime, in between time, go and hang up your tool belt, hang up your coveralls, get this car off the rack, see where we at. Hit the likes, hit the subs. That's how you show your boy love. Hit the likes and hit the shares. Let people know how we do things around here. I appreciate the growth of this channel. Every time I do one of these, 4 or 5 new people come on and subscribe. I love that the message is spreading. We got people throwing up tools in the comments from all over the world, literally. And I cannot tell you how much that gets me right here, like right under the left boob. It gets me right there, like indigestion, but the good way. Can't tell you how grateful I am that y'all pull up like that for the kid. That's fire. We're keeping the channel growing. My next stop is 10,000 subscribers. I'm right around the corner. I'm at 8 right now. If you have not subscribed, please do so. If you're planning on subscribing, please do so. If you want to bring some people and let them subscribe, please do so, because, more people enjoying the source of the sauce in here with us. That's what we're here for. That's what we're here for. In the meantime, in between time, the time is now 5:30, and I will bid you all adieu as I expect to see you, God willing, back here tomorrow at 5:30. At 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And until that mystical, magical, majestical day arrives, all y'all be safe. Enjoy your hump day. Enjoy your Aries season. The garage is now officially closed for the evening. God willing, I'll see y'all tomorrow at 5. Peace.